panic sells fast.
Ballroom bribery, folks! It's a pay-to-waltz scheme!
Drama gets louder.
This is a crisis!
They're mad.
Because it's free. Ballroom Panic. In theaters now.
Democrats just introduced a bill so insane, so petty, and so desperately unhinged that even their own supporters are laughing at them. They want to make it illegal for Trump to use private money to renovate the White House ballroom. Not taxpayer money, private donations from Americans who want their president's home to look respectable, and they're calling it bribery. Meanwhile, these same Democrats are swimming in Epstein cash. You can't make this up. Not at all. I mean, think about the precedent that this sets. If Democrats can criminalize private citizens donating to improve government buildings, what's next? Making it illegal to donate to libraries, to parks, to monuments? This is not about corruption. Trump's not taking a penny. It's about control, and they want to dictate how every dollar is spent, even private money that saves taxpayers millions of dollars. And here's the kicker. While they're screaming about ballroom renovations, they're cashing checks from convicted sex traffickers. While they're calling private donations bribery, they're taking orders from Jeffrey Epstein during congressional hearings. This is projection on steroids, and they're so terrified of Trump's success that they will criminalize charity itself if it makes him look good. And while Democrats criminalize saving taxpayer money, Trump just turbocharged American mining independence. Yes, we got some breaking news. Executive Order 14241 has declared Alaska's Palmer Project critical for national security, and Vizsla Copper now controls it. Now, this $3.5 billion deposit contains the copper, the zinc, and silver that America's military and energy grid desperately need. This is the same team that propelled Vizsla Silver to $1 billion valuation, and it's now running that operation. The Palmer acquisition, it was just announced, and the market has not even priced in this government backing yet. Now, we've seen what happens when Trilogy Metals or Nova Minerals shot up over 200% with similar support. Now, get this. Vizsla trades, write this down, VCUFF in the U.S. and VCU.V in Canada. With the White House fast-tracking domestic production, this could be the ground floor of something massive. You can check out the presentation. It's linked below, and we thank them for supporting this show. My friends, the hypocrisy is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Okay? People are nailing it perfectly. These evil brain numbskulls submitted the Stop Ballroom Bribery Act while Stacey Plaskett was in bed financially with Jeffrey Epstein. They're literally trying to criminalize Trump accepting private donations to fix the people's house while they're on the Epstein donor list. Think about that. They took money from Epstein but want to arrest Trump for accepting donations to restore a ballroom. This is not governance. It's gaslighting with a gavel. And who's leading the charge? Pocahontas herself. Listen.
Have business. Look, at this point, you'd have to be living under a rock to miss the videos of Donald Trump destroying the entire East Wing of the White House. But the real question is, who is paying for Trump's gold-encrusted ballroom? Giant corporations like Amazon, Apple, Google, Meta are all coughing up millions of dollars to build Trump's ballroom. Why? Many of these CEOs and billionaire corporations have business in front of the Trump administration right now. So the obvious question is, what are these corporate donors expecting in return for their money? Like, they're not donating to Trump's ballroom out of the goodness of their hearts. If you ask me, it sure looks like bribery for special favors from Donald Trump and his administration. That's why I launched an investigation into Donald Trump using the White House for potential corruption. The American people deserve to know the truth.
You know what I'd like to know the truth about? All the people that bought Hunter Biden's artwork. Did we ever get answers about that? Yeah. The guy doing finger painting for millions of dollars. Right? Where was Pocahontas on that one? Yeah, she was pretty quiet, wasn't she? And we're talking about finger painting with Hunter Biden. Crackhead. What's Trump doing? He's beautifying the White House. Yeah. 21 minutes ago, the Stop Ballroom Bribery Act introduced on Tuesday When is the one for Stop Foreign Governments Bribery Act going to be submitted, or the Stop Enabling Pedophiles Act, or the You Work for the People, You Not Yourselves Act? Here's President Trump. When he, this is 7 hours ago, talking about the construction of the ballroom, reflecting on what he told the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia.
If not the... Yesterday, we had a phenomenal visit at the White House celebrating the 80-year bond between the United States and Saudi Arabia. We ended with an unbelievable show last night in a room that was far too small, but the next time you're here, you'll have a much bigger room. It's gonna be much bigger. I made more enemies last night by we had 119 people. That was a record for the room. So they've wanted for 150 years. They've been clamoring for a ballroom at the White House, and we're giving them one. We're giving them one plus, and it'll be something. But you'll be here. You'll be among the first, if not the first, if you'd like. You know, we'll work it out.
Now think about what he just said there. Okay, next time you are here, you'll have a much bigger room. Now let me give you some inside baseball here. When you have dignitaries that arrive at the White House, I've been there for several, where are they received? Yes, they're received at the main West Wing entrance. But where do they do their official ceremonies? Their signing, their press briefings. Where do these things occur? They occur in the East Room. Now, I've been in the East Room, all right, with Tiger Woods. When President Trump was there with Tiger Woods, when President Trump signed the executive order to get rid of the Department of Education. It's cramped in there. It gets hot in there. I mean, there's stuff on the walls there that have been there for over 100 years. You can't get too close to these things. It is packed. So when he talks about this smaller room, that's what he's referring to. So think about when you have a dignitary, of course it's the White House, it has its own stature. It's just built in. It's baked in to the history. But imagine having a beautiful, big ceremony when you have a dignitary that comes in, and that dignitary deserves it. And they set up a beautiful presentation with flags and a band and a walkway and a reception. Right? It is going to be a glorious moment when that ballroom opens up. Just some background on what he's referring to there. So it's only going to add to the grandeur of the office. And Pocahontas is freaking out. Oh, Google has business before the government. When do they not have business before the government? When does Amazon not have business before the government? Seriously? That's the best you can do? Here is Kamala Harris.
And are you fucking kidding me? This guy wants to create a ballroom for his rich friends while completely turning a blind eye to the fact that babies are going to starve when the SNAP benefits end in just hours from now? Come on. So I'm not going to be distracted by, does the guy have a big fucking hammer?
Oh, wow.
What about those babies?
What about those F-bombs? Yeah, we dodged a bullet with that one, literally. She was on the weekend show with Jon Stewart. Just dropping F-bomb after F-bomb. Yeah, real dignified there, Kamala. How many cocktails did you have before you went on that show? President Trump in the Oval Office, late October, dropping the hammer on a third-rate reporter for saying he hasn't been transparent enough about the new White House ballroom.
Listen.
I just want a quick follow-up on that question. Your response to people who say that you haven't been transparent enough about this.
I haven't been transparent?
That some of your critics feel it should
I've shown this to everybody that would listen. Third-rate reporters didn't see it because they didn't look. You're a third-rate reporter, always have been. So third-rate reporters didn't look, but anybody that asked, These pictures have been in newspapers. They've been all over the place, and we're very proud of it. It's gotten great reviews. It's gotten really great reviews. So I think we've been more transparent than anybody's ever been.
Great reviews. The reviews are great. Everyone loves the reviews. Yeah, you've seen this picture before. Trump's new ballroom. a Trump tower attached to the White House. Now, wouldn't that be funny? Of course, if you didn't know, there are no buildings that are allowed in Washington, D.C. to be taller than the Washington Monument. So, of course, this is something that would never happen. But it would be quite funny if it did, right? More late October, Hakeem Jeffries, after screeching for weeks that Trump's White House ballroom renovations cost taxpayer, now admits it's being funded by private donors. Don't worry, the Democrats will spend taxpayer dollars to investigate it.
United States government. More likely, this is part of what Donald Trump has been doing since day one of his presidency, running the largest pay-to-play scheme in the history of the country.
Wait a minute. Whoa, hang on. Wait, slow your roll, Hakeem. Slow your roll. The largest pay-to-play scheme?
How dare you?
You know who ran the largest pay-to-play scheme? No, it wasn't Hunter Biden with his art collection. It was Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. And right out of the State Department in Barack Obama's administration. That's the largest pay-to-play scheme. Timu Obama. So I just had to correct you there.
And probably soliciting donations from people who've got business before the United States government. And all of this is going to have to be investigated. It will. All of this will have to be uncovered. It will. And these people are going to be held accountable.
Oh, we're going to hold them accountable. We're going to make sure you open up your checkbook and you pay for a brick in the ballroom. You will be held accountable. Oh, wait, they have business before the government? And what does that mean? Is that a bad thing? What if they do have business before the government? What, so Trump's going to pick up the phone and be like, hey, guys, yeah, we've got a guy here. He bought a brick. He bought a brick for the ballroom. Yeah, he's got that contract. Yeah, the one for the floors in the Treasury Department. Yeah, just fast track that one, would you? Yeah, prove it, buddy. Prove it, Hakeem.
No matter how long it takes. That's going to be the reality of the situation. And that's our warning to all of these people participating in this scheming to manipulate taxpayer dollars and, of course, to destroy the people's house. The White House belongs to the American people. It doesn't belong to Donald Trump.
Yeah, and he's not using a penny of taxpayer money to do so, Hakeem. How was that payday from Jeffrey, by the way? How did that work out for you? Late October, Donald Trump Jr. discussing the big, beautiful ballroom, reacting to Hillary Clinton freaking out about it.
Literally had the Democrats freaking out about it is absolutely insane. I think the greatest irony that I saw in all of this was Hillary Clinton talking about it being the people's house. Hillary Clinton, who with her husband literally had to return furniture and silverware that they stole from the White House. That was actually the property of the people. They took it with them after their term. They had to return it because people caught them stealing the furniture. She's the one that's leading the charge complaining about this thing. It's absolutely nuts. This is for the betterment of the property. It costs the American taxpayer nothing, and it's going to add value, not just to my father's presidency, but to every president after him, because it's going to take some time to build. The reality is every president after him will get much more use and much more benefit from this incredible addition to the White House. The Democrats.
Think about this, too. Think about this for just a second. Let's just say, first of all, we have the majority in the House. We have the majority in the Senate. We got the executive, right? So Pocahontas and her cohorts decide they're going to introduce this bill. It's only designed to slow the whole project down. right? What are they gonna do? They're gonna go in. They're gonna line item every single thing. They want to put it before a committee for a vote. No, see, that's not how it works. President Trump's bypassing that entire process because he's using private donations. So he can get it done. He can fast track it, execute the plan. See, because Donald Trump's no dummy. You know what? The guy wants to be able to use that ballroom before he leaves office. So imagine what would happen. Imagine what would happen if they got this bill in play, which of course they're not going to do. It's all theater. It's also so Pocahontas can make selfie videos and pretend like she's virtue signaling in front of all of her bays, throwing them out some vegan meat. It's all designed to slow them down. But let's just say they went ahead. They got the bill passed somehow. Trump never signed the freaking bill. But let's just say he did. In some stroke of whatever, he decides he's going to sign the bill. It would just slow down the project so that he could never actually use the ballroom. All this stuff, everything they do is just designed to slow them down, roadblock them. They can make noise. They can make headlines. But the fact is that they're actually attempting to do this. They're wasting taxpayer money, taxpayer time, executing these bills. They're using the people's money to investigate what doesn't need investigating. They're using the people's money to write these laws and have their staffers run down facts, investigate, draft the bill, have their little meetings, all on the taxpayer dime. I mean, that's the irony we're talking about here. Let's jump over to the White House. Late October. Press secretary.
When it comes to this ballroom, the president has been incredibly transparent. I would reject any notion otherwise when it comes to this ballroom project. It's something he personally has obviously taken an interest into and has talked with all of you in this room many times about. You have seen the model in the Oval Office. Last night he showed that for you. But when this plan was presented and when these renderings, as soon as they were complete, the president directed me to come out here and to share them with all of you. I did an entire opening remarks about what this ballroom project was going to look like. With any construction project, there are changes over time as you assess what the project is going to look like, and we'll continue to keep you apprised of all of those changes, but just trust the process. This is going to be a magnificent addition to the White House for many years to come, and it's not costing the taxpayers anything. The president is privately funding this ballroom addition to the White House grounds.
Because he's a freaking boss, and he knows exactly how to get things done, unlike, Pocahontas. When Obama was president, Donald Trump offered to build a White House ballroom free of charge, but never got a call back. Did you know that? Bo Loudon, a good friend of the Trump family, actually met him at Mar-a-Lago. When Obama was president, Donald Trump offered to build a White House ballroom free of charge. Never got a call back. Donald Trump was going to build a ballroom for Barack. The White House ballroom was a Trump campaign promise dating back to January of 2016. Did you know that?
We'll put it, and every time the top people come over from China, they're getting these big, beautiful, they put a tent on the White House. We don't have a ballroom at the White House. I offered, by the way, Jerry, years ago to build a ballroom at the White House, free of charge, $100 million ballroom. I said, we'll get the top 5 architects in America. We'll get the top people, top everything. We'll have the best ballroom, because I noticed they always put tents up on the lawn. Number one, it's not a good security thing. Number two, the guy that owns the tents is making a fortune, okay? This poor guy, he's making so much money. All he needs is one tent, and he charges them so much, he's making a fortune. All right. But I said, I will build a ballroom. I gave it to the Obama. I actually told David Axelrod, a good guy, very capable guy. I told David Axelrod, David, I will build a ballroom free of charge, at least $100 million. We'll make it the finest ballroom in the world. We'll put it someplace so it works contextually, magnificently. It'll be done. We'll have committees set up. I never heard back. It's, it's just one of just thousands of things. If someone's going to give me a free ball, I'm going to take it. We'll put it in an area that'll look great. but, we don't have a ballroom at the White House. And every time the top people
promises made, promises kept. That was back on the campaign trail in 2016. Mark Partial to infamous Democrat Senators Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts and Robert Garcia of California sponsor waste of time legislation. The bill targeting White House ballroom donation introduced by the butthurt Republican, by the butthurt Democrats, excuse me. The American people do deserve the truth about Elizabeth Warren and all her donations from Big Pharma. Those who are casting stones better make sure their house is clean, says Susan. Louis Montoya, stop wasting taxpayer money on political games. We love the ballroom and love that we are not paying for it. Billionaires footing the bill, good. Your Stop Ballroom Bribery Act is just another jealous power grab. Give it a rest. You're annoying as shite. Oh, Elizabeth Warren. 24 hours ago, she posted billionaire companies are bankrolling Trump's ballroom and it stinks of bribery. That's why Robert Garcia and I introduced a bill to crack down on this potential corruption. And then she has an infographic, guys. This is Elizabeth Warren's infographic. And I want to make it very clear that this infographic is only 1/1000th Native American. Sorry. Okay. All right. Let's break down the the 1/1000th Native American infographic. Who's paying for Trump's new ballroom? Billionaires and giant companies, many who may need something from Trump. Are we supposed to believe they're giving their money away for free? Of course not. This stinks of bribery. The solution? My new Stop Ballroom Bribery Act. And then she tags Congressman Robert Garcia in the image. Excuse me. How much you want to bet? I'm not on Elizabeth Warren's email list, or I'm not getting text messages from the Democrat Party. But how much you want to bet that she's fundraising off of this little circus act? I mean, it's just a virtue signal with no teeth, no merit, a waste of time. And that's what they do. They cook up these ideas. Oh, I got a great idea. It'll go nowhere, but I'm a member of Congress. That's what I do. We'll write this bill. We'll put it out there. Hey, Robert, make some selfie videos. Yeah, make them look like you're really concerned about this whole bribery thing. We'll make some infographics. We'll do a whole campaign around it. But we'll raise a lot of money. Yeah. Throw out that vegan meat to our base. That's what this is really all about. That's what stinks here. Oh, yeah. 15 hours ago, James W. Thompson posts this. The Stop Ballroom Bribery Act would prevent donations from businesses or individuals with business before the government, including those facing federal litigation or enforcement action. Per CNN, it would bar the donor from remaining anonymous. And it would also require a 2-year cooling off period if you do donate, which means you can't have any business before the government for 2 years. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. Remember, this is all political theater. So you can't be anonymous? You want to donate to the people's house? Well, I guess, Hunter Biden did have a lot of anonymous donors for his finger painting. The new bill was put forth, called the Stop Bribery Act, aims to prevent donations from anyone with business before the government, plus those facing federal litigation. So here's the ultimate irony, folks. Trump's private renovation plan, it would actually save taxpayers millions and millions of dollars. He's literally refusing to use your money to fix the White House. Refusing it. The Democrats want to make that a crime. Why? Orange man bad. Simple as that. They can't stand he's actually doing something noble. They can't tolerate him being generous. They're so consumed with their hatred, they'd rather waste your tax dollars than let Trump use private funds. This is Trump derangement syndrome reaching critical mass. And folks, we've reached peak absurdity. Democrats are trying to criminalize saving taxpayer money while they swim in blood money from Jeffrey Epstein. They want to ban private citizens from donating to improve America's most famous residents while they take marching orders from convicted predators. You see, this is not politics anymore. It is mental illness masquerading as litigation. The Stop Ballroom Bribery Act will go down in history as the most pathetic, petty, hypocritical piece of garbage ever introduced in Congress. And every Democrat who supports it while cashing Epstein checks should be laughed out of Washington. You want to have a conversation? Let's do it. Is this the most desperate anti-Trump move yet? What do you think? Sound off in the comments. And support real American values by checking out our next news merch shop link below, because somebody needs to call out this insanity.